Mr. Lozano is out of control. Mr. Lozano's out of control.
Mr. Lozano, stop talking on the phone. Perhaps the state does have some cases against my client, Judge. Maybe the evidence is there. I don't know.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry. All these offenses you're speaking loudly and clearly. Loudly and clearly. The fact that he impregnated a 15-year-old girl and now he's with somebody else and the girlfriend's upset because he impregnated a 15-year-old girl. Oh, please. When does it stop?
This defendant has more than 7 pending cases against him, and while already in custody awaiting trial, he made the situation worse by making statements that didn't help his case. Because of the seriousness of the situation, there are even 2 prosecutors present at this hearing, which already shows how complex things are. Now, his attorney is attempting to have his bond reduced so he can be released before trial. However, from the judge's tone, it's clear she is not pleased with the circumstances. Do you think someone with this many pending cases should be granted bond? Let's take a closer look.
David Nunez for the state, Your Honor. The state is ready.
Daniel Avalar for Josiah Lozano, Your Honor. Good morning, Judge.
Good morning. Good morning. Where is Mr. Josiah Lozano?
There he is, Your Honor.
There he is. Okay, Mr.
Judge, can I interrupt for just a moment? I'm also on one of the cases against.
Oh, yes.
Thank you, Mr. Kennedy. Thank you, sir. Okay, Mr. Lozano, do you see and recognize your attorney? Very well. And Mr. Arad, do you see and recognize your client as the defendant in this particular case?
Yes, Your Honor.
Very well. Okay. Now this is a case where the COVID docket judge forgot to post a bond on one of his cases.
It was a little weird, Judge. The one we're talking about is the one that didn't actually. I wouldn't blame the court. It just didn't make it to his docket, Judge. I think he would have been more than happy to address it, Judge, but it just didn't make it.
So why can't we just agree that it's going to be the same bond in that case?
I agree, Judge, and Mr. Setliff has his reasons, Your Honor. I don't know if he wants to address the court, Judge.
Okay. So what bond? Give me the bond he was put under.
$100,000 bond, Judge.
On that case.
Yes,
okay.
Judge. And
tell me why you won't agree to the bond that was set in the other cases to be imposed on the one that was forgotten. Mr. Setliff?
Your Honor, it didn't get a hearing on this case, and so I thought that it would be important for us to have a conversation. I think Mr. Nunez has also taken a really fine look at the defendant's behavior over the course of the last several months, and so I think he has some things to say as well. But the defendant was out on PR bond at one point, committed, picked up 3 new cases, including this tampering offense. So. Your decision on the other bonds wasn't cognizant of this tampering offense, which
It wasn't my decision. It wasn't
Sure.
my decision. It was the COVID judge docket.
Yeah, sorry. So the COVID judge didn't have this additional third degree felony in front of that judge in making the determination regarding those additional assault felony violence impeding and the assault felony violence on a pregnant person.
So the one that doesn't have a PR bond is the tampering?
I believe so, Judge.
as well as the one that Mr. Setliff referenced.
So there's 2 cases that the COVID judge docket forgot?
Oh no. He did address that one, but I think the court's question was which one doesn't have a PR bond, and so that too doesn't have a PR bond.
So, because I was the clerk, both of those are 15,000 split. He denied the reduction and left it at 40,000 cash and surety.
And Judge, I agree with everything Mr. Castañeda said, except for, and he could correct me if I'm wrong, the 3690 case, which has a $50,000 bond split.
He said 15. He said the 6552 and the 3690 have a 15 split, is what I understood.
That'd be great if we can get a
correction. I stand corrected, Judge. It is a 50 split.
Right, Judge. So you see how the numbers are adding up, Your Honor? And so we're not asking, perhaps the state does have some cases against my client, Judge. Maybe the evidence is there. I don't know. For this specific hearing, Judge, and I'm glad Mr. Setliff is here, all we're asking, Judge, is that we are addressing that $100,000 bond, which has a PR revo to it, Judge.
And this is 6637, please.
6637, Judge. Maybe a $10,000 bond, or maybe just a straight up PR now that he has to pay on the other ones. Yeah.
The defense attorney is clearly doing everything possible here. Despite the number of cases involved, he is still advocating strongly for his client. He's asking the court to reduce a $100,000 bond down to a personal recognizance bond, which is a significant request. Given the defendant's history, that's a difficult argument to make. This is one of the last calm moments in the hearing because things are about to escalate quickly as the prosecution begins to present more information.
So Judge, just to clarify, you had him out on PR bond on the 2019 case, and so that's why when he committed the two new offenses against his intimate partners, I think it's two separate ones, you were not pleased with his performance on PR bond, and so you set it at a very high bond on this third-degree felony. And so that's the issue. As I don't want to agree when he certainly do a PR bond when he has proven that he is not good on PR bond.
We've reached out to not only to Mr. Lozano's family, but also his employer. We spoke to a gentleman named Carlos Ortiz, who's the owner of Ortiz Construction, Judge. And in writing, we do have that they'll give him a shot, that if and when he does come out, that he is a good worker and he'll have to prove himself when he is employed, of course. But he does have a job. It's not a huge company, but it is something that's going to keep him busy and employed, Judge.
Can we agree to, I will give him the split bond on the 6637. Can we agree to a number? Mr. Nunez, Mr. Setliff, what are you thinking?
Gentlemen, since this case, and I know Mr. Setliff's argument, but since this case involves, a tampering with, the indictment reads with marijuana, Judge.
Your Honor, just to let the court know, I mean, he's facing about at least 6 probably different cases. He's been in this court since June of 2017. He's picked up 7 new criminal cases, with 3 of them being listed as felonies.
Okay.
On one of the AFBs that he's picked up, the victim was a minor who he also impregnated. We are also looking at impregnated. He got her pregnant, a minor pregnant. She was about 15 when he got her pregnant. We're working up on that case as well. We do have good contact information for her. I am worried about him potentially maybe trying to get in contact with her if he's let out on bond. And he's previously failed to comply on his bond conditions. He's had failure to reports. He's tested positive for THC.
Okay. How old are you, Mr. Lozano? How old was he when he impregnated this person?
Your Honor, I want to say it was about 19 or 20.
And she was 15.
I want to say 15. At the very least, oldest. I said at the very oldest, 16. I mean 15, 16. We're talking those age ranges.
Judge, and I would just say, in part, we know that from jail phone calls that the defendant has made. He made one on January 20th, 2020, to his current girlfriend, in which she calls him out on having impregnated the 17-year-old. The 17-year-old just turned 17, and his girlfriend, this victim on one of the cases that he's in there for, says that's messed up, bro, and gives him a hard time about it. I'm happy to share this jail call with everyone, but they're talking in detail about what she knows he did.
Mr. Lozano,
I have
stop.
various other ones.
Mr. Lozano, stop talking on the phone. You understand? Gentlemen, why don't we agree? You want to do 10,000?
The defense attorney continues to manage a challenging situation. Even with everything stacked against the defendant, he is trying to maintain control of the courtroom. At one point, he even steps in to keep his client focused and prevent further disruption, which shows he's attempting to keep things from getting worse. On top of that, he's dealing with 2 prosecutors at once, which adds another level of difficulty. It's clear he's putting in a strong effort despite the circumstances. Let me know what you think about his performance. Now, let's see how the judge responds to the request for a lower bond.
In my position, and Mr. Stedlick will have his, my position is the same as I had in the 409. That was opposed to any type of bond reduction on this case. I think it's fairly set, considering that he has failed to comply with any of his PR bond conditions. He keeps picking up new cases. He's been in this court just continuously picking up cases since he's been out. That's just respectfully, Your Honor, that's just my position.
he's on the hook for at least, I'm doing the numbers, maybe I'm wrong, at least 10,000 cash is what he's gonna have to come up with.
I'm good with where we're at, Judge, and I understand that you may need to revisit that. But after reviewing the jail calls, that's new information to me from the previous hearing, and it's enough to elevate our concern about other people in the community and his continued ignorance of your instructions and rules that you require him to live by.
Mr. Lozano is out of control. Mr. Lozano's out of control. And I remember this case because I think I remember getting informed in court many months ago or years ago, a year, 2 years ago, that he had impregnated a 14 or 15-year-old little girl. And I'm thinking, where the heck is everybody? Why isn't somebody doing something about that? Why isn't somebody doing something about that? Statutory, what are we doing? Hey, not Mr. Nunez, Mr. Setliff.
I have been working on that case, Your Honor. I've been specifically working with the detective Ernesto Silva on that case. Like I said, she is also the victim in an AFB that he has pending, a felony AFB he has pending, and I have been in contact with her, and that's really all I have to say about that, Your Honor. I have been working on that case, and we've kind of been we tried to work out a package deal as well. There's been conversation of that. We're trying to resolve all cases.
Yeah, I think I'm going to keep it at 100,000, Mr. Avelad. I'm sorry. All these offenses are speaking loudly and clearly. The fact that he impregnated a 15-year-old girl, and now he's with somebody else, and the girlfriend's upset because he impregnated a 15-year-old girl. Oh, please, when does it stop? Nope, it's going to stay at $100,000. $100,000 surety, $10,000 PR, no bars, no drugs, no alcohol, no arrest, no offenses against the state of Texas or any other state. You cannot leave El Paso County unless until you have my permission. You're going to report one time a month in person, and you're going to report one time a week with 24 hours notice. You're going to stay away from the complaining witnesses. Who are the complaining witnesses' names in the family violence? Do we have stringent conditions of any PR bonds that are set right now, Mr. Castañeda?
Sorry, Judge, what did you say at the end?
Do we have any of the no contact provisions on any of the PR bonds that are set right now?
Let me check, Judge.
Contact on the family violence with alleged complaining witnesses. I want all the names of the complaining witnesses.
Yes, Your Honor.
Mr. Avelad, this is a tough day. Holy. Besides the fact that it incites this court that he impregnated a 15-year-old girl. I can't get over that. I'm still stuck on that. Unbelievable.
He's been busy, Your Honor, and so I think we're trying to.
It's very sad. Very sad.
And Judge, if Mr. Setliff can somehow get me those jail calls from my review in case there's anything incriminating.
The one I just referenced, I will download it and send it to both Mr. Nunez and to you, Danny, and to you, Judge, if you want it.
Thank you.
I don't need it yet.
Okay.
I don't want to get any more infuriated.
The outcome seems reasonable given the situation. With multiple pending cases and the details presented during the hearing, the court has to consider public safety and the likelihood of compliance. At a certain point, patterns of behavior become difficult to overlook. Decisions like this often balance risk, fairness, and legal procedure. Let me know your thoughts in the comments. Do you agree with the judge's decision? Thanks for watching, and don't forget to like and subscribe.